This is the one thing that all guys need to stop doing. What is it? Well, rather than share it myself, I'm actually going to give you the words and creation of Anna Akana, who is a comedian and creator. And I'm going to let her share her experience of the one thing that all guys need to stop doing. I think you'll be able to relate to it, and we're going to dissect it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So I made a horrible mistake.
Hey, cutie.
Oh, hey, what's up? How have you been?
Just want to stop by, say hi. Don't be a stranger.
Oh, gosh. That's too good. I mean, let's just context one thing here, right? So she's a comedian, but she's also, a cultural commentator, I guess. So I'm going to allow her the comedic license, but also try and get at the essence of what's happening here. So she's capturing something about casual male romantic sexual engagement that I'm imagining a lot of you can resonate with.
Hey, sexy.
Hey, what's up? Are you okay? It's late.
Don't forget about me.
Oh, geez. So she's having me laughing. I want to, because she's good, right? She's capturing something. My laughter is not like condoning this. It's just the way that she's capturing it. But I also do want to, point to something here. How would you know exactly what an intention of a guy is? Just hold that thought as we continue to go through this.
Oh, God, not this again.
What?
Dude, Anna keeps sending me text messages every few months that are vague, and they're like, hey, babe, hey, cutie. And then when I actually engage in conversation, he stops responding.
Oh, girl.
What?
You're being piggy banked.
What was that?
Ignore the definition on Urban Dictionary because that's definitely not what I'm talking
Have you
about.
had to use Urban
God,
Dictionary?
ow, ew, that's insanity.
So many new
Yeah,
terms. of
okay,
dating.
that's why I said not to do that. Piggy banking is when a guy periodically drops in with a text here or an Insta comment there to put you on the back burner. It's like he's slowly dropping coins into your emotional piggy bank for sex, for a rainy day. It's ridiculous.
So one of the places that I would go with this kind of immediately is like, how would you become unpiggy bankable if such a thing exists? Just bear that in mind as you're
It's
listening.
the only emotion he's giving me is annoyance.
What do you say?
Hey, sexy. No, you gotta stop.
Stop what, winky face?
Tell him he's piggy banking you.
You're piggy banking me.
Whoa, Melissa, I would never insert a nickel into... Oh my God, that's insanitary.
No, not that. I'm talking about when you send me text messages every few months and then put me on the back burner in case you want to hook up.
Yeah, so just don't respond.
It's wrong.
What are you talking about, Michelle? You're the one I learned piggy banking from.
What?
Oh, it's Michelle.
How you doing, big boy?
Oh, hey, girl, how you doing?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, I thought you want to have a conversation, but that's chill.
I don't want to talk to you. I just want you as an option.
Oh, well, you don't have to emotionally invest in me at all for that. Anytime you want to hook up, you can just hit your boy up and...
You're funny.
Wait, I can hook up now?
So, I mean, again, kind of brilliantly, she's capturing something about the essence of, the possible essence of masculine experience, right? Which is actually, when I'm available as an option to you, for me, there's no emotional rub in that. Right? And that's not to say that will always be true for all men, but you get the essence of this, right? So when I'm doing that to you, it might not be that my intention is bad or hurtful or disrespectful, because actually, if you were doing that to me, I'd just be like, yeah, that's cool. You don't need to emotionally invest in me for us to be occasionally, casual or connected. So part of this is also just the differences that can exist between a more male masculine or female feminine way of approaching dating. And I think our job is to not necessarily make one right and one wrong. It's actually to notice and observe and then to discern what is it that really works for us.
You're horrible. You're a horrible, horrible piggy banker.
Oh, come on. Women can't piggy bank.
Actually, Michelle, your piggy banking really hurt my feelings. You kept hitting me up
So
with
this
the
is the
intent to
authentic
hook
piece.
up, but then it never happened. And I kept thinking, am I not good enough? Not hot enough? Not smart enough? Why does she keep leading me on if she's not gonna put her body on my body? It really messed me up.
Oh, wow.
So this is, I guess, the piece that probably doesn't get revealed to the masculine, right? Now, maybe a guy knows that. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he might receive it. Now, let's see how she receives it. But like, it sounds like, wow, I'm kind of surprised by that. So part of this could actually be revealing more to the masculine. The challenge is the guy may not be the guy to actually be revealing that to, right? So you may not, sometimes the irony in life is sort of the place we most need to be heard is sometimes the least easiest for that place to hear us. So he may not be available for this, but there might just be some real power for you and in you in expressing what your authentic experience is and not needing someone to get it. You're actually doing it for you.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
And Melissa, I'm so sorry I was gonna use Michelle's heartless tactic on you. If I don't have any interest in maintaining an actual connection, I shouldn't fake one just to keep my options open.
Thank you.
This is goodbye, ladies. Stay sexy.
So the assumption here would be something like, I should be maintaining an actual connection with you, right? And maybe that presupposition isn't actually serving, right? So I totally get this bit that it can have an impact that is really negative. And the question is, who's responsible for that? Is it your job to discern, hey, I don't actually, like this, and so I'm not going to engage in it? Or is it his job to sort of know and predict that impact? Because the nuance in here can be that sometimes in your life, in the way that she's showing here, right, like that a woman could actually engage in piggy banking, you might not be emotionally available. You might not want to be emotionally invested, right? I've helped people, worked with people where they're like, you know what, I've just maybe gotten out of relationship, and right now I don't want commitment, but I do want some connection, right? Or I do want some physicality. And so we don't necessarily need to make that wrong. What we're trying to do is have alignment, and we get more alignment through you being more authentically in tune with what you need, what you want, and what you're available for, right? Perhaps rather than monitoring that guys, quote, shouldn't do this, because the reality is it happens enough that it's likely to continue to happen out there. And I'm all for guys getting educated, knowing about their impact, right? Like if a guy knew, for me, this is just like, it's kind of casual. It doesn't, I'm not even aware of the impact. And suddenly the impact is like, this is really hurting me. Like I want a guy to be aware of that, right? And then to take that into consideration and maybe not do it. I'm just saying from a coaching perspective and your own growth and development perspective, we try to keep as much ownership of our own experience. And so we're not talking about collective transformation of masculine feminine dynamics. We're talking about what is it that you want and what is it that you need to be discerning and to take a stand for.
I can't believe it's just.
Keeping your options open through piggy banking is incredibly annoying, disrespectful, and a landmine of potential hurt. Look, I'm sure some of
So I would be curious, right? Like if Anna were working with me and I were coaching her, so what you're actually saying is my experience is that this is annoying. I feel disrespected and I have been hurt by this. And, through empathy, you could imagine, well, if I'm having that experience, someone else might have that experience, right? That's sort of like the upside of empathy, right? The downside of this is subjectification, right? That I imagine because I'm having this experience that everyone should see you having this experience and we should stop this experience happening. So I would prefer if this was owned more from the I feel disrespected than this is disrespectful, because someone else could be having a different experience. And I don't think it serves you to have an orientation towards men of sort of like, you should not do this, you should change. Much better to find a guy that is doing the things that work for you, right? That's the difference fundamentally between judgment and discernment. Judgment says you shouldn't do this. Discernment says this doesn't work for me. Can you feel the difference in that? And for a lot of us, that is where our maturity is, right? Is actually moving out of the judgment and moving into our discernment. That is our own authenticity move. So I'm curious about this because this could keep you stuck in a lot of kind of looping and needing men to change and not maybe making the invitation to the thing that you want in your own experience. Let's see what she has to
of
say.
us have had it done to us, and some of you have done it to others. I've done it. I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely done it.
Okay, I
But the
appreciate
problem
that.
with
She's
piggy
owning that.
banking is that you clearly aren't serious about the person you're dropping coins into. And look, I know the title of this video says guys, but I actually thought of talking about it because I did it to someone
Yeah,
and I
this can
felt
definitely
really
happen both ways.
terrible about it. Like at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of us, myself included, we were bored. We were lonely. We were horny, okay? I actually had this conversation with Michelle. Okay, there's gotta be someone we can flirt with.
There has to.
Okay, we'll just look through our contact list and we'll find someone.
Anyone.
I just need to get laid.
There is a God.
Oh my god. What? Found one. I'm not
So, in and of itself, right, you might have your own, spiritual or moral lens that you bring to this, and that's fine. In and of itself, feeling lonely and wanting connection, right, or feeling like you want to be, physically connected to someone, I'm not sure there's anything wrong with that. The question might be if you can be clear about what your intentions are, sorry. And then the question also is, so where's the responsibility there, right? How much is it that I have to reveal all my intentions? How much is it that if you need to know what my intention is, you can seek it, right? So I'm not sure that everything on the other side of the fence has to happen because you should or shouldn't do this is the best way of proceeding. It could be that if I need to know your intentions before I text you back, before I meet up with you, or before I get physical with you, that ownership is probably going to serve me in better stead. What do you think? Leave me a comment. I want to know what your experience is. I want to know if you're picking that up or if you feel differently.
proud of it. I did end up leading someone on, and it became abundantly clear to me how much he actually liked me and how my piggy banking was going to seriously hurt this person. And he was a
So this is interesting, right? The next thing she's going to say is he's a good, sweet person, right? So if I were coaching this guy, maybe we'd be saying, why were you okay with her leading you on? Right. So again, I'm not trying to absolve anyone of all their responsibility, but as a guy, if you're interested in someone, it's also your awareness and intuition. Like, is this genuine? Right? Is she really into this? Can I dial it in? Can I ask her some difficult questions like, would you be my exclusive girlfriend, and be willing to hear the answer? And sometimes that's the danger, right? And being like a good, sweet guy is that you don't actually get to the edge and kind of say, oh, I've got feelings for you. Like, do you have real feelings for me? Do you see where this could go? So the thing that could be being missed out as a good, sweet guy is backbone, is courage, is edge, is discomfort, is getting into the difficult conversation. Said differently, a lot of good, sweet guys may actually be able to notice that she doesn't seem quite as into it as I am, and maybe that needs naming, or maybe I need to just put that out there and not make assumptions, but just sort of say, hey, I kind of intuit this, or I notice this, or I'm not clear. If you're getting increasingly connected with a woman and she's not wanting something more exclusive with you, and that's not being put down as a condition of perhaps being physical with you, good job to get curious as a guy there, right? Because normally probably means that she's not quite so into it.
good, sweet person who didn't deserve that. So I broke it off, told him I was very sorry, that I wouldn't be contacting him again unless I was serious in order to spare his feelings. And since then, I've been trying to be way more direct and honest with people about my romantic intentions, whatever they are.
I don't want to be presumptuous because you may just have invited me over as friends, but just in case
This
you
is
have
good.
romantic intent, I want to let you know that I'm not on the same
This is
page.
really good.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Yeah, I definitely did, but I'm down to be friends.
With you, however, I do
Okay,
feel
wait,
very
I'm going to jump in. So, that was a very quick exchange. It may be that in your experience, you can't just in the moment, if you were looking at a guy romantically and he says, hey, I actually see this as friends, you might not just be able to on a dime say, okay, cool, yeah, let's be friends, right? You might actually need to receive that, digest it. If you're not super into it, it might be easier to get there. But if you have had genuine romantic feelings and part of you has been, romantic imagining the possibility of what could unfold, right? Then it's normally not just easy to go, okay, cool, thanks for letting me know, let's be friends, right? And probably the more you're in your feminine, or the more your essence is naturally more feminine, the harder that is likely to be. You probably can't just roll in a friendship. Now, that doesn't mean an authentic friendship isn't available. I'm just saying, have space with yourself, track your process, metabolize, feel what's true for you, take a moment. You can let someone know, that's really cool, let me just sit with that, and I'll reach back out to you.
deep connection, and I'd be interested in exploring something serious if that's what you want.
Oh, I think you're great. But in all honesty, I'm not emotionally available for that right now.
Totally understandable. I hope we can remain on good terms.
I think we can.
Well,
So, I love the way that she's, choreographed this and acted this out. The essence of what they're saying here is really great. Again, probably hard for it to happen in this sort of brief way. When someone is emotionally unavailable, it's not always easy to have that awareness, right? Sometimes it takes getting in a little deeper with someone for you even to realize, oh, I'm actually not as available as I thought. Even sometimes when you have an awareness, I could be on a rebound, actually tracking how available you are or not. This is really tricky territory. Certainly in my own experience, I've owned this is tricky territory, even as someone who's maybe looking for it and watching out for it to even know. So I don't know in reality if people walk around saying, I'm emotionally unavailable. And sometimes what might be truer to say is, I'm not emotionally available to you right now. Kind of meaning, if we were talking in a different cycle, it could look different, although in those instances, generally let it go and let the future take care of it, I'd say. But it could also be that, it's not just that I'm always emotionally unavailable. It might be that just this connection isn't bringing forth a kind of desire to want something more exclusive or committed with you. And that may actually be a more true way of talking. I love this, hey, thanks for being truthful to me. Can we stay on good terms? Again, I would say in my experience, sometimes this isn't available because if you've gotten far enough along the path of, I'm kind of interested in this, or I could see something unfolding, which, by the way, for some of you, you might get that before you've even met the guy, right? And we talk on this channel about how can you not do that? How can you slow it down and stay sober? But for some of you, you might have that romantic imagining from the match, from the texting back and forth, from him hitting you up again. Perhaps you've had a call, perhaps you had another call. So I know for some of you, this is happening before you've even met in person, right? Which is why we try to slow it down before we do. But then you meet in person, maybe with date 1, date 2. By this point, you might be already thinking, wow, I'm really starting to feel a bit more attached to the possibility with this guy. So when he says, by the way, I don't see it with you, or I'm not emotionally available, or whatever in a sense, it doesn't ultimately matter exactly what he's saying. It's like the result probably is broadly the same for you. Like, I don't see this going forward as a romantic connection. You may need some time for that to impact you. So you may have the experience, thank you for being truthful with me, but you may also have the experience of, I feel hurt. For some of you, you're going to feel rejected. And that needs metabolizing, right? So it's not always just straightforward to do the thing saying, hey, yeah, that's disappointing, but thank you, let's be friends. The more you practice not getting ahead of yourself, being sober, allowing the thing to unfold, not getting too, hypnotized into romantic imagination, it's going to be easier to do the thing that is being presented here.
Thank you both for coming and letting me tell you that together.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, it's a little awkward. I'm gonna be
Yes,
honest.
a little
But it's
awkward.
cool because you're hot, so I'll do it.
Look, I'm old, okay? My channel is dying. I'm dying.
Oh my gosh,
I pulled
you're
my
not
back
old.
yesterday just by
Chill
picking
out.
up a robot vacuum. I tweaked my neck just by waking up and existing. I'm getting to a point in my life that my therapist always calls when women come into their psychological power.
That
I
sounds
think
like
it
a
should be
good thing.
called the moment you cross the threshold of 30, your body breaks down, and the older you get
Oh.
from there, you care way less about what
Come
people
on.
think. And I feel like she's right. I feel more than ever very comfortable living in my truth, embodying the grumpy goblin I authentically am, and honoring where my feelings
good.
are in the moment. And obviously, I'm gonna mess up because I'm an idiot with human whims. And I did mess up by hurting this very nice person's feelings. But I think what's important is that when we realize our actions are hurting people, we change, we stop, we evaluate our intentions, and we take accountability.
Yeah.
And look, am I still very bored, very lonely, and very horny in the pandemic? Yeah, absolutely. But the vaccine is around the corner. Patience is a
Oh,
virtue.
back in the day,
And
patience is a
vibrators
virtue.
never hurt anyone's
Oh,
feelings.
gosh.
I'm Anna Akana, and thank you to the
That's
Patreons who
hilarious.
supported today.
So I'm going to stop there because I think she's going into to thank her sponsor. So I appreciate this video. I appreciate the territory that she's opening up. I appreciate the way that she's kind of acted it out through the dialogue and the humor, but to kind of get to the core of this issue. I do think it's a great thing to do your best to take responsibility and accountability if you're impacting people. My intuition here is that the deeper freedom for her and anyone that might archetypically be more like her is actually on your side of the fence to own your experience more and not need anything different to come at you, but be more selective and discerning with what you have in your field. So thanks for being with me. Leave me a comment beneath this video. I read all your comments. I reply to many of them. Let me know, what is your experience? Do you agree with her? Do you agree with where I'm pushing back? Do you have a totally different experience? Have you felt like an option with a guy, and when you've gone to name it, it's actually ended the connection? Have you moved from a romantic orientation towards a guy into something that authentically feels good, like a friendship for you? I want to know. What's your experience? Please leave me a comment. Like this video, helps me out with the algorithm. Be part of our community. Subscribe to the channel. This is an awesome community to be involved with. These are real conversations about, real circumstances in life. And we get to the heart of it. We want to have you with us. So subscribe, like this video. And as always, I'm Jack. Thanks for being here.